welcome you back to another episode from our show, Anything Goes. I would like to pose a question today and ask my friends here what they think. How can you organize or prioritize the important and urgent, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, and neither important nor urgent? I submit to you that a lot of these get so confused. You may do the urgent or the important or the none, and there is no sequence. So now, since all of us are experts in non-prioritizing, and you are holding so good in the mic, so I guess you are very good in that. So give me your take on this. Priorities and how.
Sorry, Uncle Hanny. I have a quick. I have an urgent question. What is the difference between urgent and important, please, before we start?
Urgent but not important. Let me tell you this. I'll give you an example. It's important that I wake up on that day, and let me give you this example. That morning, you woke up, and it's important for you to go to work and to finalize the project. But that morning, you received an urgent call saying that, for example, your mother needed to go to a doctor, very important. So there was an urgent and important to go to work, but the urgent was urgent. All right, let me just leave my philosophy alone now. Okay. Just let us go through how do we prioritize? Do we prioritize? I mean, for example, a college person, his exam is 3 weeks from today, so that's urgent and important. But in the same time, the Jets is playing for the Super Bowl. And they keep losing, but they won the last times, so he wants to see it. So he forget the exam that's next day or the 2 days after for sake of this. Where to prioritize?
The priority, I think, is really what is the most essential thing to be done in the most immediate time frame.
Okay. So write to-do list, and then under to-do list, each one you need a deadline.
Yeah, a deadline is
good point.
It's always good to do that.
So that's number one, or one of the points, how to prioritize. Sarah, you were struggling for the mic.
I think in terms of the Jets, like the Super Bowl stuff and stuff like that, fun things, we always have to think about. Fun things are sometimes very important, and sometimes they can even be urgent. But we always have to sort of, I think fun needs to be subordinate to what's really the important and urgent things, because sometimes and oftentimes we sort of confuse them, and the fun things.
Give me an example of important and an urgent thing.
Important and urgent. Okay. Well, to be honest, in your example, I think that your mother needing to go to the hospital is something that's important and urgent.
So you would have gone with her and put that number one, although there was a very important but not urgent project to be done.
Yes.
Okay? You okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right. So number one, and prioritizing, to-do list and deadlines. And what you are saying is define what is the urgency, define what is important. Okay. Other thoughts? Marina, you have?
Like the game, and having an exam. Let's be realistic here. The game, you won't gain anything from it.
Okay.
To
Sorry,
me,
guys.
I'm a girl. I'm sorry. I'm not into sports. But, okay, they're going to kill me here. But if you have an exam. I think it's very important. The game won't help you in anything. It's for your own pleasure.
But what if, let me ask Clara that. There is a game, and the game is actually tonight, and the exam in a day or two, and you want to do both.
Am I gonna be watching the game somewhere or at home?
No, I'm asking you.
I could.
What would you do?
I would do would be I would watch the game and try to study at the same time.
During the game?
Yeah,
How can you do that?
I could highlights and stuff like that. Oh, he got a touchdown. It's okay. Yeah.
So, I mean, what you are saying is it's not the whole game is important. You can just pick and choose parts of it that you are sitting and doing.
Yeah. Well, if it's like a very important test.
Part of the experience. You know, you're gonna be out with all your friends. How are you gonna focus?
Yeah. Or I could tape the game. I could tape the game and study now and watch it later.
So one way is tape the game and watch it later. One other way, study harder before the game if you have to skip the time of the game.
Yeah, or
Fine.
after something like
Other ways. Sarah.
In the same game example?
No.
No, a
please.
different
I
example.
mean, we really don't want to be cornered in one example. I would rather more examples or more ideas how to prioritize.
So I think that sometimes I give an example of for myself. Sometimes what I do is prioritize like clothing because I like to shop. I think it's a thing a lot of girls like to do, shop. So if I'm going to an event the next day and I might have and no like somewhere to go and but maybe in 2 days and then but the next day I have something really important to do, like I have to prepare for a big essay or something like that. My urgency will get caught up in my what am I going to wear for the event in 2 days.
Okay.
So really my that will become urgent and what's important will sort of get stomped on. And
So how would you prioritize for that?
for something
Example.
like that,
Yeah.
well, that takes maybe that's an issue that I have, that I need to not care so much about clothes. But aside from that, it just takes planning. You have to plan. You have to designate time for certain things and time for other things. And
So which is urgent and which is important in the example you gave, and which is non-urgent and non-important?
I think that what's urgent, the clothing and whatever and what I'm going to wear, I think it's important. But if let's just say it's a very important event, I'm not just talking about going to my friend's house. No, it's an important event. So what I'm wearing is important, but it's not urgent. It's not something I should classify as urgent and let it sort of consume my other important and daily activities that are
And where is
important.
the important and urgent in your example?
Okay, so that is not urgent, but it's important.
Yes.
And but it's not really either. It's not really important really that much either. So I guess I would classify that as neither important or urgent. And the essay the next day is important and urgent because it's the next day and I'm not attending to it.
And you also need to fix your Facebook because you have not updated for 3 days. Put that in a category now.
Okay.
My 4 categories for everybody: important and urgent, urgent but not important, important but not urgent, and neither.
Okay, so let me just reclassify things,
Yes.
okay? So the essay the next day is important and urgent. The shopping is important for the event, because I don't know,
Yes,
I need to look a certain
important,
way.
fine,
It's
but not
important,
urgent.
not urgent. Facebook updating is neither important or urgent.
Okay, so you would do the essay, go for shopping, and then when you have time, do your Facebook.
Yes.
I just wanted to get the mic as soon as possible so we could start talking about shopping.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Oh, thank you.
In your career, give a very live example of what's something that you go through. And I know how crazy your day could be. I have seen, I have called you occasionally when you are super, super busy. Now, is priority something that your supervisor, your boss, your director will say, this is a guy I want to keep in a job, and if you have lack of, he will say, I would rather fire him?
Well, in my job specifically, all my management is in California, and I really need to prioritize right, or I really won't be working, just because I need to be responsible for that stuff. And just to give you an idea of one strategy that actually helps me. I do like I'm constantly trying to get better at prioritizing. I've gone through a lot of different types of to-do list managers to really help me. I have found some that worked well, but really just writing some things down the day before really helped me out a lot. But one thing that really is good is I read this book. It's a non-spiritual book, but it's really helpful. It's by a guy named David Allen Greer, and all he talks about is task management and how to prioritize. And he has something called the 2-minute rule, where if it can be done, if a new task arises, and it's something that, and you're in the middle of doing something that is not vital, and it can be done within 2 minutes or less, just do it right there on the spot. Do it right there, instead of letting it linger and add. So that method has helped me in my workday.
Okay. So we are still talking about how do you prioritize. And if I submit to you that there are 4 categories that you can go through in any task, and I want you while you are seated at home and us while we are trying to pose some questions for you, important and urgent, urgent but not important, important but not urgent, and neither. There are a lot of our school students and a lot of youth, while they are starting exam, they get a text, check the Facebook, check a picture, and they leave the studying, which probably important and urgent, for something maybe important but definitely not urgent. And Sarah put it as neither important nor urgent. I don't want to really lose our audience because some people may get a problem with what you said. But at the end of the day, that's, some people will say that, but definitely is not urgent. Updating your Facebook is not urgent. Answering a text chat is not urgent. You are in the liturgy and you are going through prayers and you're about to have communion and your phone rings. It's neither important nor urgent. Unless you are a doctor and you are on call and you are in the church waiting for a call, I don't think it's neither important nor urgent. And even it's important, you have urgency in the liturgy.
Some people pick up the phone. I don't know how that.
Yeah. So the way to go, so number 1, prioritize by to-do list and define which category this falls into. Is it important and urgent? Or it's important but not urgent, can wait? Or urgent but not important? Or it's neither? The second thing that you said is if it's something that you can do fast and finish with it, definitely it's not a Facebook. For 2 minutes, fine, that's fine.
Emails,
Yeah,
phone
I mean,
calls.
an immediate thing. The third thing that people will recommend, you ask for help. Ask for people to help you prioritizing. Ask for a teacher. Ask for somebody at your work, a supervisor, to tell him which one of those 4 tasks that you have given me, teacher, supervisor, dad, you want me to do first. If you are not sure which of the main importance of the others, maybe some other person can guide you because you think number 3 is more important, and apparently your boss thinks that number 4 is more important than 3, and you need to put 4 number 1. The other point is there is no point of rushing through things for you to finish 2, 3, and 4, all of them as number 2. You definitely will not do a good job. But if we prioritize, if we know what category each element is, we probably will do a better job. So I'm sure you and I fight through priorities. And both of us and all of us need to start learning how to define what's more important. There are priorities every single day in life you will have. But the smart person and the wise person who knows how to define the importance of each task and put it number 1 and say, I don't have time except when I can for number 4. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Until next time, have a blessed time and thank you.